The 1324-1624 trenchers are resilient and easy to use. The control panel is simple and understandable. Variable speed drive allows you to adjust your wheel speed to any soil conditions, and the reversible chain drive can be operated manually to dislodge obstructions or debris, perfect for tough terrains. The axle can also be manually unlocked from the control panel for easier turning when transporting. All hydraulic means no belts, gears, or drive chains. The outboard bearing is specifically designed to protect the auger shaft from bending when impacted by rocks and other debris, allowing you to work in almost any terrain. The hydraulic chain drive motor is attached directly to the head shaft, making maintenance easy and keeping repairs to a minimum. General safety instructions. To use the 1324 or the 1624, you must be over 18 years old, of sound body and mind, and familiar with the machine as taught to you by someone with experience. You must also read and understand all safety messages and instructions in the user manual. Pay special attention to the safety decals fixed to the body of the trencher near specific hazard points. These trenchers must always be operated in full compliance with all state, local, and national regulations, including OSHA regulations. Never operate a trencher under the influence of alcohol, drugs, prescriptions that prohibit operation of machinery, or any other substances that impair your cognitive or physical ability. Also, never smoke or let anyone else smoke while operating or standing anywhere nearby. Always wear proper PPE while moving, operating, or observing. This includes eye protection like safety glasses or a full face shield, earplugs, a hard hat, gloves, and boots. If you're working near traffic, wear reflective clothes. Never wear loose-fitting clothing, jewelry, or anything which could get caught, and keep your head and facial hair pulled back while operating the machine. While moving or operating the trencher, stay clear of any moving parts. The trenching chain, wheels, and auger especially can cause serious injury and even death. Also, never touch hydraulic fluid while the machine is in operation. This fluid is hot and poisonous. When operating, always stay clear of any debris flying from the trench. Always operate the machine outdoors and avoid standing near or breathing in the engine exhaust and fumes. Also, avoid operating near flames, sparks, or flammable dust or vapors. If possible, keep a fire extinguisher capable of extinguishing petrol fires near you while you operate. Only operate when there is enough light, either natural or artificial, and allow for plenty of side and overhead clearance between the machine and buildings, fences, trees, and other obstacles. If the dig chain connects with an object while digging, the chain can quickly climb upward and tip the trencher towards you. Coming into contact with the moving chain can cause serious injury or even death. Never leave the trencher unattended while the engine runs. Also, never allow anybody else to stand or ride on the machine. Never lift the trencher over any person. If the trencher tips, any person underneath would be crushed. Always be careful when driving on soft or uneven ground. Third-party attachments can dangerously change the center of mass on this machine. Only use approved Barreto attachments on this machine. If possible, pick a worksite free from bystanders. If you cannot avoid having others on the worksite, keep all observers or coworkers at a safe distance from the machine and the trench being dug. Walking on the edge of the trench could cause the wall to collapse and make someone fall onto the moving chain. Contact with a digging chain or auger while in motion will cause serious injury or even death. Use traffic flag personnel, signs, cones, and lighting devices to warn or divert traffic and pedestrians. Stop the machine immediately if anyone comes close. Always call 811 before you dig, or you'll be held liable for any damage caused. Hitting buried electric cables or gas lines may cause an accident, interruption of services, damage the environment, or even hurt someone. Fiber optic lines conduct strong laser light which can injure your eyes. If you do hit an underground utility or pipe, immediately move away from the damaged utility and call 911. Transporting the machine. Barreto recommends transporting the 1324D-1624D using the Barreto 4x6 tilt bed trailer. Before towing, make sure that the towing vehicle is in legal operating condition and exceeds the recommended specifications for towing. The towing vehicle should have a 2-inch, 5-centimeter ball mount which is in good repair and securely fastened. It should also have trailer lights if required by local towing laws. Assemble and attach the trailer to your vehicle. For assembly instructions for your 4x6 tilt bed trailer, see your trailer's owner's manual. When attaching the trailer to the vehicle, cross the chains under the trailer tongue to prevent it dropping to the ground if the trailer comes loose accidentally. Also, make sure to attach the safety chain in a way that it cannot come loose. Only allow enough slack in the chains to allow for proper turning of the vehicle. Never leave enough slack for the chains to drag on the ground or leave too little so it's drawn too tight. To load the trencher onto the trailer, make sure the wheel lock is attached to the trailer and the wheel lock pin is pulled out and not in the way. Park the trailer and towing vehicle on level ground. Unlatch the tilt bed latch pin to tip up the trailer bed. Leave the latch so that the spring-loaded action will engage the pin and lock when the trailer levels out. Line up the trencher so that the dig chain is facing the rear of the trailer. Start the machine. If you haven't already, lift the digging chain up all the way and lock the axle on the control panel. Drive slowly onto the trailer bed. The weight of the trencher will balance the trailer out as you drive. Drive until the trailer is level and the front wheel is positioned inside the wheel lock. Secure the tire with a pin. Put the driver's side safety chain and quick link through the D-ring that is closest to it and then through the rear tie down on the machine. Do the same thing with the passenger side safety chain and quick link as well. Throttle down and shut off the machine and make sure to close the fuel shutoff valve. As you tow, never go faster than 45 miles per hour and always obey all local traffic laws. Allow for extra clearance around your vehicle and stop after a few blocks to check your load and retighten the hitch to the ball if necessary. Before you operate. Before you start the engine, look to make sure nothing is worn or damaged on the machine and check all fluid levels. Replace any worn or damaged part to maintain the trencher's balance points. Also, familiarize yourself with the controls. The digging boom lever raises and lowers the digging boom for trenching and transport of the machine. To start the machine, both engine ignition switches must be in the on position. One is located on the control panel and one on the engine. The engine ignition must be in the on or off position to start or stop the engine. The engine throttle controls the engine speed. Always trench at full throttle by pushing the throttle all the way forward. The clutch lever is located on the left handlebar. This lever activates the ground drive and digging chain controls when raised. For your protection, all motion stops when the lever is released. The engine will keep running and the controls will stay in place so you can resume trenching at any time. Never tape this lever down or otherwise bypass this safety feature. Doing so could lead to serious harm or even death. The digging chain control starts the chain in forward rotation. The digging chain control must be held in the on position while the clutch lever is engaged to start the chain. The ground speed controls the wheel speed in forward or reverse when the clutch lever is engaged. Pushing the axle lever down puts it into the unlock position for maneuvering. This position allows the left wheel to freewheel while the right wheel drives. Push the axle lever up into the lock position again to dig. The chain forward and reverse lever allows you to manually operate the chain in forward or reverse rotation if you need to dislodge objects or dig in difficult terrain. This control can be used even when the clutch lever is released. Operating the machine. When you arrive on site, always do a site assessment first. Look around for any conditions or obstructions that could hinder trenching or make operating the machine unsafe for anyone. If there is a source of sparks, flames, or unknown vapors nearby, do not operate. When your assessment is complete, lock the trencher's wheel hubs and start it up. For starting in cold weather conditions, consult your owner's manual. Start and warm up the engine. Raise the boom to prepare to move. Make sure the chain forward and reverse lever is in neutral when not trenching. Move the axle to the unlock position to drive the trencher to the starting location. Always travel slowly, especially if you're inexperienced. Avoid driving near drop-offs or embankments. Also, avoid driving or operating the trencher on a slope. You can drive and trench on up to a 20-degree slope. However, if the trencher is driven or parked on a slope of greater than 20 degrees, the machine will shut down automatically. Also, never drive too close to the side of a previous trench. The weight of the trencher could collapse the trench wall, flipping the machine. Position the trencher. Remember that the trencher is designed to trench while moving in reverse. Once you're positioned and ready to begin, push the throttle lever to the full on position and lock the axle while the ground speed control is in neutral. Slowly move the ground speed control into reverse until you reach your desired speed. Hold the dig chain engage lever in the on position. Pull up on the clutch lever. Slowly lower the boom until the chain is at your desired depth. Put the wheel drive control in reverse and slowly start to trench. Adjust your speed to the soil conditions and terrain until you've got it right. The machine can slowly lurch forward if the digging chain is forced too quickly into the ground or catches on a buried object. If at any point rocks, roots, or other objects jam the chain, release the clutch lever and then manually reverse the dig chain lever to dislodge the debris. Run the chain forward to continue digging through areas with rocks or roots. Occasionally activate the clutch lever to move the machine back a few inches and repeat until you've passed through the tough area. If the trencher bounces a little when lowering the boom, try lowering it slower. You can also move the trencher backwards a bit during the plunge cut while lowering the boom to reduce the bounce as well. Never overload the engine. If the engine lugs down or the digging chain slows, release the clutch lever or reduce the wheel drive speed until the engine speed recovers, then continue trenching. After the job. Once trenching is complete, move the trencher to level ground and park. Lower the boom onto the ground. Ensure that the dig chain is in neutral when you're not trenching. Reduce the throttle to idle and turn off the engine switch. Be sure to close the fuel shutoff valve. If you don't, fuel could leak into the cylinder and crankcase. Damage from this is not covered under warranty. Let the machine cool entirely before refueling, performing maintenance, cleaning, or touching the engine, muffler, hydraulic components, or hydraulic fluid. Always thoroughly clean and service trencher after every use. To clean the machine, wait until it's cool and then spray it down with water. Once clean, run the machine briefly to remove water from the system. Once you return to the shop, complete all other required cleaning, lubrication, and, if equipped to do so, battery maintenance. For specifics on these tasks, consult your owner's manual. For more information, visit www.barretomfg.com.